Always purchase your items through our Amazon affiliate links below. Always purchase your items through our Amazon affiliate links below. Always purchase your items through our Amazon affiliate links below. Always purchase your items through our Amazon affiliate links below.
In this video, we're taking a look at a Foxwell NT624 Elite Professional Scanner. I will give you an overview of the functions and try to answer the following questions. Who is the scanner for and will it work for your car? Is it worth the $200 asking price? And what are the limitations? But before we go in the car and plug it in, I just wanted to show you the construction of the unit. As you can see, it is pretty well constructed. It is very solid and rugged feeling in your hands. It has a very nice 4.3, I believe, TFT display. So it's full color display, works and looks pretty nice. It also comes with detachable, I wanted to mention the detachable cable. So this unscrews and you can remove it and use the hard case that comes with it to store it. So that's pretty nice. Also comes with a USB mini cable, so you can update the unit. You can do it through the cable or by removing the SD card. For the SD card, you also have a kind of micro SD card reader. So if you don't want to plug the unit in, you can just remove the micro SD card and plug that into the car. Now let's get in the car and see what the scanner can actually do. So as I mentioned, this cable is removable, so I'm going to plug it in just to show you how long it actually takes for the unit to boot up. And let's see, well, it only took a couple seconds for it to bring you to the main menu, which I think is pretty good. You are then presented with all of the functions that this unit can do. And the first one being auto VIN. This will automatically select the VIN number of your car without you having to enter the year, make and model and all that other stuff. So that's pretty convenient. The next option is OBD2. This is what the generic code readers do. They will scan all of the generic, and this is a pretty important distinction here, that these are the generic codes from your OBD2 port. You will also be able to see live data and a lot of other useful information within this menu. We'll go a little bit deeper in a minute. The next item is diagnostics, and this is pretty much what makes this unit and what makes it, you know, $200 and not a $50, $60, $80 unit. This option will allow you to actually read the modules for your specific car, not the generic codes, but the actual modules on the car, which will then give you the specific codes based on your car. So right now we're sitting in a BMW 550, but I'll also go to a Fiat 500 in a little bit just to show you the difference in modules and what you can actually see in there. This is what makes this scanner, you know, worth the $200, at least in my opinion. Next is the special functions, and this is depending on the brand, but I believe the most you can get in here is the EPV service, which is the electronic parking brake, as well as the oil light reset. So if you need to reset some oil lights or other lights that come up on your dash, you can do that through here. The rest of the settings are, well, just settings, and this is, you know, the general stuff. You can enable and disable beeps, test your screen and test the keyboard, make sure everything's working great. So it's good to visit if you're having issues or want to change the language. There's also data manager. So this is when you can save diagnostics from your car into data manager, and then you can pull them up through here. Or you can actually plug in the scanner into your computer and see that data on the computer. So if it's easier for you to read on a big screen, you can do that. And the last one is update. You just click on here and this will basically connect your scanner to the computer if you have the USB plugged in. So this makes it kind of like a card reader and allows you to update software. Now let's go into each of the 4 options and see what they can actually do. I will be speeding up some parts of the video just so we don't have to make this video 15-20 minutes long. First is the auto VIN, so I'm going to click on that. It's going to ask me if I would like to enter the VIN manually or get it automatically. I'm going to select automatically. As you can see, it pulled up my VIN. I'll have to blur that a little bit. I'm going to say yes, this is correct. Alright, so it found my car. I'm going to click yes, that is correct. Once it loads all the information, you're just going to click on diagnosis, and then you have 2 options. You can either select the modules, so you can select the individual module and scan it separately. This is great if you're working on a specific issue and you already know what you're looking for. So if you need to scan the engine electronics or anything like that, you can do so quickly without having to wait for the entire system to be scanned. But in this case, we're going to click on quick scan and it will scan all of the modules that are available on this car. Alright, so it has been about a minute and the scanner scanned the entire system. As you can see, there's 34 modules. So there is a lot of information that you can access through here. Like I said, this code reader is highly versatile and it can diagnose just about every component group on the car. I mean, just take a look at this. You can have our car access systems, electronic transmission management, so you can adjust your car stuff, or, I mean not adjust but view the codes and erase them if needed. Even the gear selector switch, so right there we can even individually look at this data and scan the codes, or even erase the codes for that as well. Actually, let's give that a try. So if I click OK, we're gonna see if there's any codes. There shouldn't be any, and there isn't, so that's good. Can go back and even look at the live data through here, which is a huge benefit, where you can go directly into an individual module and read that data. So we're going to go to general, and there you go. So we have all the data for this module right here. Just for this, you have all of these sensors and this information available for you. So this is what makes this scanner so amazing. You can do this on any car, for pretty much any module on the car. So let's see if I can press something and see if it changes. Alright, so I selected all of them so we can see the values, and check this out. So I'm gonna just press park. Do you see how that changes? So this part actually changes and telling you, yes, the switch is working. So here I'm gonna do it live. Pressed, not pressed. Of course, there's a little bit of delay, but you can see all of that information live, which is pretty cool. If you move this, back and forth, I'm gonna move it and hold it. And there you go. The value is changing. So what I'm trying to show you guys here is that you can clearly see what is working, what is not working in your car. So if you have a specific issue, you can check each part of the module and troubleshoot it live. This helps tremendously when you work on cars and you're trying to figure some funky issue with the electronics or anything like that. Now, instead of going to OBD2, I'm going to go to diagnostics just to show you something. When we go to diagnostics, we have all of the regions that the scanner can scan, or the cars from which region the car comes from. Since I'm in a BMW, we're going to go to Europe and see what is available here. And as you can see, pretty much all of the cars that you can imagine are in here. So this kind of answers my second question, and that's, will this work for your car? Pretty much yes. Unless you have some very obscure or a car prior to 1996, this will work. And with the updates, if the car is not available or your car just came out, it's brand new, it will most likely be added in the next update. Now we're gonna select BMW, and as you can see, we have that same smart VIN or auto VIN in here. So if I click on smart VIN, what it's gonna do is basically scan the car and provide you the same information as we had in the previous menu. So it's kind of like a duplicate menu on this scanner. The first and the third options are very similar, except here you can actually select which car and model you can scan. We can also do a manual selection. We can go to Series 5, F10. Diagnosis, and then we'll have the same control modules as we saw in the previous menu. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way back, but I just wanted to show you this menu first because you can see all of the cars that are available here. So if you go to American, have the Chrysler, Ford, and GM. Asia, we have all the Hondas and Toyotas and Hyundais and all of those other cars, so that's all available here as well. And even have Chinese cars, which I'm not very familiar with, but I'm sure these are useful to some people. So basically, AutoVIN scans the system and then brings you to the diagnostics menu after it identifies which car it is. If you don't want it to auto scan, you can go here manually, then select the make and model of your car. Now the last option, or the fourth option on the menu, is special functions. This is very useful for a couple of things. What we have in here is the EPW, which is the electronic parking brake. Whenever you change brakes on modern cars that have electronic parking brakes, you have to basically use the special function to move the caliper back so you can replace the pads or whatever it may be exactly, but you can't just do it manually like you used on old cars, so you have to use this function, and this will work the same way on pretty much any car that's Asian, European, or American. You also have your oil reset, which will obviously reset the oil, and I believe it can also reset other reminders, so that's very useful as well. Now the last option is OBD2, and this is what most scanners can do. I'm going to do a brief overview here. I don't want to waste a lot of time, since this is more or less common on a lot of cars or on a lot of scanners, and I don't really need to go deep into this. So first I'll show you your system status if you're ready for getting emission tested. I'm gonna click OK, that's fine. And here we're gonna get information based on the modules. Most cars will not have three options like this car, but this car has three main computers in a way. Now we can also view live data, which is a very useful function. It reads pretty much every PID that's available on the car. We can view the complete list, or we'll just do that. Or we can do custom. Basically, we can do a custom list and only show the items that we want to see. This is great for general troubleshooting, and the good thing about the scanner is that you also have graphs. So if you want to see the coolant temperature or anything like that, you can select graph, and it will graph for you, depending on the changes. Of course, this car is turned off right now, so it's not going to change, but you could if you wanted to. And you can also do multi-graphs, so if you select multiple items, you can get that displayed. That's pretty cool for certain specific items where you need to know the fuel pressure and maybe the short-term fuel trim or anything like that, and you will be able to see how it relates to each other. Now I'm gonna go back. Like I said, you can do custom lists as well, which is kind of nice. You can select only the systems that you want to view the live data for. All the other items in the OBD2 scan menu are pretty much the same to most of the other scanners, except, you know, like I said, you have the graphical interface and you can do graphs, and it's a little bit better presented than most cheaper ones. Now let's go back to the main menu. So that's the functional overview of the Foxwell NT264 Elite scanner. I would say this scanner is great for somebody that has 2 or 3 cars, especially if they're different brands. Instead of having to get 3 or 4 scanners that are specific for your brand, you can just get one of these and it will do pretty much everything you need it to do. You're also able to access all modules and have full system scans for all cars, and this is the biggest selling point for me of this scanner. You can do the diagnostics of the modules for all cars. I can't mention that enough, because this is the big selling point of this. It's not like all the other scanners that the BMW specific scanners. They're great, there's nothing wrong with them, but they only work for BMW. Same thing for the VW or the VAG group. It only works for those specific cars. This works on pretty much all makes and models, which is amazing. That's you get a $200 item that works on multiple cars. It will be great for like I said, somebody that has 2 or 3 cars, or maybe a small repair shop that needs to scan different cars on daily basis. You also get specific codes for the problem and not the generic ones, as I mentioned earlier, and you have a large screen. Overall, it's a great tool for the money, as you don't have to buy the brand specific scanners in order to scan the individual modules. Alright, we're now in my Fiat 500 Abarth, and I just wanted to show you that this scanner can do multiple cars and will actually show you all of the modules for those cars. Of course, it only has 13 modules and not 30 plus like the other one, but we can go into each individual one and we'll look at the live data, and we can check out all of these sensors. I mean, there is a lot of them. As you can see, the scroll wheel is barely starting. So you can do this for each individual module on pretty much any car. This is what makes the scanner so good.
Always purchase your items through our Amazon affiliate links below.